Advertising cheat code number 3, stand out advertising. Let's face it, most ads suck. They interrupt whatever experience you're trying to enjoy, and people learn to ignore them. People go ad blind. But here's the problem. If you can't get somebody to give you their attention, good luck convincing them to give you their money. And while it makes sense to mimic what's working, you don't want to look like everybody else in your market. When others zig, you want to zag. And what I found, what works best in getting people to pay attention to your ads is creating ads that don't look like ads. Instead, try creating ads that look like content, or ads that look like articles, or ads that look like editorials. Just remember to include direct response principles to give people instructions on what to do next. That clear, singular call to action thing I was talking about earlier. Also, don't copy what the big guys are doing. What works for them won't work for you. Going back to that reminder advertising that I was talking about earlier. Also, the advertising that the big guys are doing tends to be boring AF. And that's because it's copy by committee. It's safe, it's predictable, it's boring, and it's easy to ignore. And I get it, big companies are afraid to offend the Twitter mob, they're afraid to plant flags and take a stand, but boring fence sitters rarely inspire action. So instead of copying what the big advertising firms are doing, don't be afraid to identify your market's villains, and don't be afraid to throw stones at those villains. Don't be afraid to identify controversial topics and speak your mind, speak your truth on those topics, as long as those topics are relevant to your market. Yes, you'll alienate a small number of people in your market, but you'll inspire fanaticism in many, many more. And fanatics are the people who go out and buy everything you produce. They're the ones that rally behind you when you get attacked. They're the ones who go out and do a lot of your marketing for you. But in order to inspire that fanaticism, you have to be willing to stand out from the market. So have fun with your ads and avoid making them look like ads, and avoid the safe, boring, corporate, bland brand advertising. That kind of advertising is for giant companies who want to avoid losing their market share. Your goal is to gain market share. It's two completely different strategies, and the approach you take depends on where you're at on the scoreboard.